Morning, Erin.
Good morning.
Hopefully, we can only assume everyone can hear us, so we'll crack on. Welcome. I guess first of all, Erin, for those of people that don't know you, if you could just give everyone a bit of an introduction, who you are, what you do as an overview, please.
Yeah, so originally I'm a cabinet maker and joiner. I'm now a business coach, investor. I run a software company that does scheduling for the woodworking industry. I'm also a director of the Joinery Network and now BJ Waller.
Awesome. So focusing on the coaching part, obviously afterwards, guys, just to let you all know, once we're done here, everything will go back to the floor. You can jump on Erin's table and ask him more questions, more sort of intrusive questions as you wish. But focusing on the coaching, Erin, what sort of businesses have you worked with to date?
So kitchen manufacturers, joiners, component manufacturers, so that's carcasses and components, and so everything within the woodworking industry. So my background is the woodworking industry, so it's my passion to change that. Having been through that process myself of trying to run a woodworking business, that's my focus.
Sure. And what sort of, to give guys a measure, what sort of sizes of business of, from what to what sort of thing, and anywhere in between?
So smallest company is probably just under £1 million turnover. Largest is £35 million turnover. So a big spread.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So in your opinion, Erin, what is your best or biggest, whatever way you want to measure it, success story so far? And how did that opportunity come about for you?
Okay. Yeah. So I've worked with a kitchen manufacturer recently. So the year previously, they'd made 126 grand net profit on about £7 million turnover. The workshop couldn't get the stuff out the door. When I arrived on day one, the owners were actually down in the workshop working and wrapping kitchens. So within 6 months, they're now on track to make £1 million profit. They've got a management team who know exactly what they need to do on a day-to-day basis. They've got a plan going forward, and the owners are working on the business and not in it. So I would say, yeah, that's probably a fairly shining light as the projects I've done recently.
Absolutely. And I guess, for every business owner, it is tough, especially in small businesses. You can very much be guilty, like all of us are or have, by creating yourself your own job as opposed to running the business as such.
For most people, it's a job, not a business. That's the sort of reality of it. It's because everything goes through them and they become that bottleneck.
Yeah, sure. So obviously there's a vast scope of businesses that you're working with or worked with. There must be some sort of similarities that you find no matter what size. So what's the sort of most common issues that you have to tend to focus on to get the biggest impact?
Yeah, so generally when I go in, people are not making the profits they want to. They're working very much in the business and they are part of it. And they don't feel like they can take much holiday because essentially the business is worse and they have a huge pile of work to do when they come back, as opposed to the business getting better while they're away. Cash flow is often a big issue, and their staff taking ownership and actually getting on and taking initiative rather than it only happening if they're driving it forward. And most people, they've set up the business years ago with a plan of having a business that they can sell or that gives them the freedom that they can go on lots of holidays with their family and that sort of thing. And they look back now and they've not really achieved that at all. And they often know what they need to do. It's actually doing it alongside running the business. And that's where a coach or a mentor comes in, is to help them do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and yeah, I think we've all felt that. We've all felt that at some point if we're not still feeling it. So people's perception of business coaches is, let's say politely, it varies versus the reality. I mean, I have experienced two different, I won't name the companies, but I've experienced one years ago when I first dipped my toe in the water with business coaching. And quite frankly, it was one size fits all. And quite honestly, the boot did not fit my foot, let's put it that way. And And then I've worked with a chap for a little while before we met, Erin, where I think the biggest takeaway for me was it was somebody, because I'm running my own business, it was somebody to hold me accountable rather than me holding myself accountable, which sounds ridiculous, but it had a huge impact, a positive impact. So what, in your opinion, is the perception of a business coach versus the reality in your world, Erin?
So lots of people think a business coach is a bit of an expensive luxury. Also that people have paid for a course, gone on it, and there we are, they've got the badge of business coach. They've probably never been there, never done it. So I think the reality can be that, if you pick the wrong coach, is the reality. But I think finding somebody with experience in your industry who knows the issues that you go through, who has been there and done it as well. So somebody who's just decided they're a business coach and that's it. They don't have that, unless you've been there and you've not been able to pay, you're struggling to pay the wages at the end of the month and the cash is tight and you don't know where the next job's coming from and the workshop always seem to be making mistakes. So unless you've been through all that pain and those processes, you don't really get it, and you can't see it. And I would say, when you get it right working with a business coach, it's not necessarily that they know everything and you don't. Generally, yes, they'll have some knowledge in terms of how to run a business and how to structure it and the numbers and things to track. Yes, they can bring that. But a lot of it is them helping you get out of the day-to-day running of the business and start to work on the business. And a bit like you said, Luke, when it was a coach that you worked that was successful, it's a mentor, it's somebody to go back to on a monthly basis and be held accountable. And because you've got everything to do to run your business, you might, if you're lucky, have a plan to grow your business and get your business to a point that it runs itself, that it's saleable. But the reality is people just don't find time. Whereas working with somebody who can break that down into bite-sized chunks, who can explain it and then work with you on that, and that's very much, if a coach is going to come on the journey with you, that's where. So I always liken it to being Gandalf in the films. He's not the hero. He's not the main character. You're the hero. You're the owner of your business. It's your adventure. But Gandalf is along the way, guiding you, supporting you, putting you in the right direction, pulling out a few miracles on the way. And it's very much that. It's a guide supporting you and mentoring you. They're not coming in and running the business for you. They're also not coming in and telling you things that you already know, because you're there, it's your business, you know an awful lot of it, but they're supercharging that and helping you get a real clarity and actually transition from just running around like a headless chicken working in your business to having a business that runs itself. And frankly, you can go on holiday and you come back and your business is improved because of the staff and the team that you've set up. They're actually improving it day to day.
Absolutely, and we would all love that for sure. So last but not least, we've got a great opportunity for some group coaching. We've discussed this between us two at length. I'm extremely excited for it. I know you are, but tell the guys a little bit about the opportunity that we are bringing to the table.
Yeah, so currently, and most of my clients have been on a one-to-one basis. That works very well, but that does get quite expensive. So that is a sort of $4,000 a month rolling fee. So for a larger company, that works, and they see massive benefit for it, but that's quite a stretch for a small to medium-sized company. So what we're doing is we're bringing this into a group coaching scenario. So the group can be as large as we need it to be, but it's only people within the woodworking industry. So everybody is going to be on that same journey, going through those same processes. So we will work with you, putting that plan together, and then it's a full day once a month. At times we will bring in experts. So it may be that we bring in a marketing expert or a sales expert or whatever we need to. But the way it will work is, because everybody will be in the same industry, everybody's on the same path. Yes, there'll be some learning, there'll be some teaching, but fundamentally we'll start with a roadmap of, right, what do you want out of your business? Where do you want it to be? Is it that you want to, in 5 years, sell it for 5-10 million? Is it that you just want to get a bit more control and be able to go on holiday as you are and not hold your business back, we'll map that out. And then as we go through month to month, we'll make that happen. And every month we will drive through, and you'll learn some specifics. You'll learn what to track. You'll learn how to set your business up and how to set the numbers up, the accounts up, how to get a marketing system that just brings in sales ongoing. You've not got this peaks and troughs, because what a lot of small workshop joinery furniture businesses is, you take a big order and then you get buried in the workshop, but you're not out there bringing in the new inquiries, and then your head surfaces because you feel really busy. Then you've got to go and find your next work, and you've got this big gap. And understanding how to schedule and plan your production ensures that you're making profit every single month, and that we're looking ahead. We're not just looking back at the numbers from the accountants going, well, what happened there? Why didn't we make enough profit? We're looking ahead, and we're predicting ahead, and we're setting up, essentially, we're turning your business into a system that generates cash, and you can have as much or as little input into the day-to-day running of that as you want. So it's one day a month. First one's on Tuesday, the 6th of Feb, and then it's the first Tuesday of every month. And it's £500 a month. There's no time commitment in terms of, you don't sign up to a long contract. You can stay for as long as short as you want, but it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to, my passion is transforming the woodworking business. There are so many companies, so many small companies, where the owner is stuck working in the business. It's not delivering the cash they want. It's not delivering the lifestyle they want. And I want to change that. And this is part of it, in taking a whole team of people through that journey. And yeah, Luke, you're joining me on that journey. So really excited to get cracking.
Absolutely. And I can absolutely vouch that I speak to hundreds and hundreds of joinery companies, because they are my customers. And I don't just talk to them about hardware or the joinery network. I am very much interested in their business, their bottlenecks, their worries, their woes. Yes, I can safely say something like this is absolutely screaming out for in this industry. So thank you very much, Erin. Erin will be on his coaching table in a second when I fathom out how to turn this thing off, and we'll see you on the floor. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much.